Hello, Year 6. Welcome to Monday's English lesson. The first English lesson back after the half-term holiday. I hope you've all had a good holiday. And we're ready for some more learning, some more of our home learning. So this is lesson 1 of our new pack 4. And today we're looking at describing using the senses. So to describe using the senses is our objective. Your success criteria, I want you to be able to use adjectives to develop the description of a setting. Take all the senses into account when developing your description of a setting, and using figurative language to describe a setting. Now, if there's anything there you don't understand, please don't panic. We're going to go through those ideas now during this video. So, the Ruin introduction. So, all the work we're going to do over the next 2 weeks is going to be linked to the video Ruin. It is a video, a short film, about 8 to 10 minutes long, and we're going to use snippets of it and build up towards a piece of writing and build up to watching the whole thing. You will see already on this screen it says that I want you to watch the first 40 seconds of the video today. Now, as you are at home, I understand that some of you may just watch the whole thing today, and that is fine. If that's what you do, that's what you do, and that's not a problem. But if you want to really stick to what we're going to do with the video and for it to have its biggest impact possible, it would be great if you stuck to watching the bits I ask you to as we go through. The video link for this video will be also on the school website, so make sure you follow that. So, as you watch the video, I want you to really think today, what are your thoughts about the setting? What's happened? Use your inference and deduction skills. So look carefully at where it is, the setting that we're in, who is there, and maybe use those ideas to build an idea of what has already happened, what has taken place in order to arrive at this scene. Okay? So look carefully at the setting. As you watch that first 40 seconds, it may well be worth pausing, going back, pausing again, and just really, really taking on and taking in the scene. As you do the work, actually pausing the video and having it on screen might be a really useful thing to have as well. Okay. So, today you are aiming to develop a description of the setting. Okay. So I want you to use a range of techniques. I want you to be able to gather adjectives to be used in expanded noun phrases. I want you to consider using all the senses to immerse the reader. That means really put them in the scene, make the reader feel like they are there. And then also use a range of figurative language to bring the setting to life. Okay, so really help bring that setting to life. So the senses that we're going to consider. Now, although we all have 5 senses, we're only going to be considering 4. We don't require the sense of taste to help a reader experience being in a setting. They're not going to be licking trees or walls or the ground or anything else. Okay, so we want the reader to use the sense of touch or feel, sight, sound or hearing, and smell. Okay, now you're going to complete this activity a sense at a time. So take a sense at a time and build up, and you'll see as we get to the activity what it is you need to do. It might be useful at this point of the video, though, to pause, watch the video of Ruin, watch the first 40 seconds, and then have a go at coming up with some adjectives to describe the things in the setting that match each sense in turn. So I might take sight first, because actually a lot of us, that's how we work. We take our sight first, what we see first, and then think about, right, what do I see? What can I see in this setting? What am I going to use? What adjectives could I use to describe it? And when we say adjectives, I just want one word at a time. Just a list of words that would describe the things we see. So you could have tall, you could have dark, you could have gloomy. You might have bright, okay? So depending on what you see from that. If I'm thinking sound, again, look at what you can see. That might help you infer what you could hear as well. However, the other thing that's nice to do with sound is play the first 40 seconds of the video with your eyes closed. Just listen. What can you actually hear? Now, obviously, if there are other sounds in the video being played over the top of sounds, you need to think if there's, if they use music as a video technique, that's not going to match to what you'd actually hear in the scene. So think carefully about which sounds you pick out. Sense of smell. So looking around, what could you see? If there's fire, what would that come with? If there's fresh flowers, what sort of scent does that come with? Feel. Is it warm? Is it cold? Okay. Does it feel dry? Does the air feel dry? Does it feel sandy? Can you feel sort of sand being whipped across your face? Okay, so all those things, but take a time and just come up with adjectives to describe it for now. So once you've done that, we're starting to build towards our main task. Today, I want you to think about developing expanded noun phrases to match things that would represent each of the senses. So if we're thinking here, as the expanded noun phrase, we've got lots of yummy cold ice cream. So we're describing that sensation of taste and that sensation of temperature. How does it feel? Okay, so that would match those senses. Okay, we don't know what it looks like. It could be 2 small scoops of ice cream. It could be a massive bowl of ice cream. We don't really know. We say lots of. That gives us some insight, but it doesn't give us enough detail. So that really does go towards taste and towards feel. All right, and that's what I want you to be doing, is taking some of the adjectives you came up with and describing things that you've seen. So if you saw trees, if you saw buildings, take the idea of buildings, pick some adjectives to go with it, and create an expanded noun phrase. Okay, so the something something buildings. That would then go into probably sight, wouldn't it? What you can see. All right. Now, this is where our main task comes in. So using the word bank you created, if you did create one, complete the first 4 boxes. So you've got sight, smell, hear, and feel. And I want you to write an expanded noun phrase for something you could see, something you could hear, something you might smell, and something you might feel. Okay, 1 noun expanded noun phrase at least for each of those. Use the vocabulary you devised if you did that. Okay, but you can see why that is an important little task, why that makes such a difference. When you've done that, we're going to move on to the figurative language. Now, figurative language looks at things like similes, metaphors, and personification, which you will see on your sheet at the bottom 3 boxes. A simile is a comparison of one thing to another using like or as a, and metaphors refer to something as something else, as a symbol. So it is something else. You're not saying it's like something else, you're saying something is something else. And personification, you're attributing human characteristics to something non-human, so making something seem alive when it isn't. So here are some examples that would work for the video. A simile. Nature engulfs and overwhelms the city like an untamed beast. So can you see that the nature is acting like a beast? And that's where we've got like a, so it's a simile. Metaphors. Derelict sentinel skyscrapers. We're saying that the skyscraper is a sentinel, like a soldier standing on guard, okay, standing tall. So that's a metaphor. Personification. Tall, twisting trees tighten their grasp and suffocate the skyscrapers. Can trees do the action of suffocating? No. And that's why personification, we are giving it that human characteristic of squeezing and crushing and suffocating those skyscrapers. We're putting on that human element to it. Yes, they can tighten around it as they grow, but they can't grasp and suffocate. They can't squeeze the air out of something in that sense, in an act like a human can do. So we are using figurative language. It is not literal. It's not exactly what is happening. We're helping paint that picture. But using these techniques will help us to develop those ideas for the reader. So your job today is to pick an example of each to go in the 3 corresponding boxes. Now, there are 3 examples on this screen. If you want to pause it and use the example sentences and change them slightly to suit something else, then do that. It's a good starting point to build your ideas. Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce with this. And it's a really, really nice series of work. I know you'll get a lot out of it if you follow through and watch the videos each day and use the work from the day before to help with the next day's work. It builds up really nicely. Doing this really well makes a massive difference to how straightforward tomorrow's work will be. Right, well, good luck with the task and send me any questions or any work you want me to have a look at onto Seesaw or Class Dojo.